Happy Thursday to you. Psychiatrists claim that overprotective parents that have extreme preoccupied attachment styles, is kind of like forcing your child to drink from a raging river like this one behind me, or to drink from a fire hose. All that love, all of that protectiveness just swarms over the child, engulfing them. And many of these children grow up to be the direct opposite of their parents. But along the way, they develop avoidance capabilities, behaviors. They avoid situations because they don't know how to deal with them. They were not given the ability to deal with them. So over the years from studying this, we've learned that we can have the exact same effect as our dogs. With our dogs, we can, if we overprotect them, if we don't allow them to make mistakes, then we're not teaching them the abilities to overcome situations. Encounters with unfamiliar dogs, encounters with unfamiliar people, being placed in situations that they don't know, like a boarding situation, or even being sent to a daycare for the first time. And worse yet, how to solve obedience problems. How do I solve this? How do I learn quickly? So many times we're so fearful about what happens to our dogs that we don't allow them to make mistakes successfully. And that's the whole key. Because see, the world is full of mistakes. You go across this river, this is what I crossed well over a few hundred times in Alaska. My mentor, who showed me how to get across rivers like this, showed me how to do it successfully. How to make sure that your gear did not weigh you down, to make sure that the straps in your backpack were unbuckled. If that river sweeps you out from underneath your feet, your backpack all tight can drown you. You learn how to put the equipment that you can't live without on your body, not in that backpack that you may have to ditch. And know how many times I slipped and fell? I can't tell you. It was that many times. But he was right there, just a little bit downstream of me. Right downstream. And he'd catch me, and he'd grab me, and then he'd ask, as soon as I spit out all the water and got my act together, and just like, oh my God, I saw my life flash in front of me. He would ask, what did you learn from that? What did you learn about your footing? What did you learn about your speed? What did you learn about the river conditions and how they can change just 2 feet in front of you and 2 feet behind you? What did you learn? And I learned, and I did learn. Because he allowed me to make mistakes successfully. And so many times I run into dog owners that don't do that. They worry so much about their dogs. Oh my gosh, I saw an owner carry his dog till he was 4 months old, until he had all of his vaccinations. Why? Why? We have vaccinations out there for your dog. Yeah, they're going to get germs. And I have so many people who won't dare do anything with their dogs and let their dogs have encounters with other dogs and other people. And they would, oh, for God's sake, don't you dare watch my dog for a week or 2 weeks, because I can't live without my dog. And I'm worried about my dog. Well, you know, worry's normal. You know, being concerned is normal. Really loving your pet, wow, that's way normal. But when you overprotect them, you don't allow them to experience cause and effect. You don't allow them to have a little pain every now and then, a little discomfort every now and then, something a little scary every now and then. And then never allow them to having the ability to overcome all of those. How many times do we have these little pep talks to one another? Hey, forged in fire, you bet. The only easy day was yesterday. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. We give ourselves pep talks like that all the time. And we champion the people who've overcome all these huge trials in life. They are our champions. Well, then what about your dog? What about letting them overcome something in life? And how are they going to do that if you don't allow it to happen? And what's going to happen when you're not in their life? What if that happens? What if I do get lost? What if all of a sudden you meet someone else and that someone else says, I don't like dogs? And now I have to go live with another human. Are you setting your dog up for failure because you don't allow it to experience life? The good sides of it? Wow, I mean, look at this river back here. Let me show it to you again. God, that's beautiful. Man, that makes my heart go pitter patter. That's my life. That's where I'm born. That's the wild. Look at my hat, the wild. But you know what? That river demands respect. It'll hurt you, it'll kill you, it'll drown you in a second. You have to learn how to get across that river should you ever have to. And there's many rivers that your dog's going to meet in their lives. Many rivers. Please make sure that you've taught them how to get across that thing, to do it successfully. Don't be overprotective of your children. It's certainly not your dog. Don't. Part of growing up, part of life, is getting knocked down every now and then. Heck, we're getting a coronavirus beat down right now. And how many people are folding up like lawn chairs out there over it? Because they can't handle a little stress. It's what life is. It's full of it. It's going to be full of it for your dog. So the best thing that you could ever do as a dog owner, the very best thing that you can do is nurture, yes. The mama wolf does not let her cubs do something that's going to get them killed, but she will allow them to get hurt. She will allow them to get an upset stomach. She will allow them to slip and fall into a raging river like this and then pluck them right out. They do that because at some point, I may not be here in your life. At some point, whether I'm just gone entirely or just temporarily, you've got to be able to handle the situation you find yourself in. You just got to do it. And by doing that, your dog will be more confident with all encounters, with new encounters with people, encounters with dogs, being left alone. It will learn all the obedience and all the behaviors you want to teach them. It'll learn them much faster because I've had to problem solve. I've had to solve things on my own. My owner didn't always solve my problems for me. When I train, I hone in on that. I never like to give the dog the entire answer. I'll give you part of it. See what you work your way through. If you start going down that river on your own, I'll come bail you out. And then once you get out, get your wits about you, you recite back to me what mistakes you made, the dog will show you that. I'll set you loose again, and again, and again. And I have found that those dogs and those humans that was applied to them learn those behaviors, and they learn them forever. It's permanent. And they don't keep making the same mistake. So all of you out there, anyone out there that's overprotective, too worried about their dog boarding, too worried about their dog going to daycare, too worried about their dog going to a dog park, too worried to even train their dog because you're worried that your dog won't like you. You're too worried to create reliability because there's an actual consequence for not doing the behavior you ask it to do. Stop it. Stop it. Otherwise, you're going to drown your dog. You're going to drown it. By drinking from that raging river down there, hard to get a drink out of that. By drinking from a fire hose. Don't be like that. Just give him a sip. Give him a little bit of water. There's a little pool right here, right down here next to me. That's where I would drink from. I'm not going to try and drink out there where that white water's breaking over those rocks. Make sure you're not that water out there. You're that water in that little pool. Okay? Got it? All right, guys. Tell you what. It's called the French Broad River over here. It's beautiful. I'm not going to go across it today. Just so you know, I don't need to. I'm over here right where I need to be. Right over here with you guys. All right, you have a great day. Don't overprotect. A little bit of do. Too much is bad. I'll check in with you guys tomorrow.